Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you are all doing well. When last we left off, Alexandria of Blacksand, I think that's her name, had triumphantly passed a combat tutorial, entered Firetop Mountain, and slayed 2 orc hounds and the adjacent orc who was disturbed by our combat noise. And we find ourselves at a fork in the road. So before I carry on, I noticed last time, I actually watched the first video back and realised that I completely got it wrong about how the combat mechanics works. When a character shakes, they're about to attack, not move. I even said it out loud and chose to ignore myself. But I also noticed that we have some icons up here, so we actually do have an inventory sack. Okay, so we do actually get gold in the game, which is interesting. So I assume we're going to find a merchant at some point. We also have a lantern, a backpack. We have a backpack within a backpack? That's odd. And a rope. And we also have a current quest, which makes me think that that could possibly change as the story progresses. We have 3 resurrection stones, which... it's odd that we can use one when we're still alive. Maybe it will just teleport me back to a save point for full stamina, I don't know. A sword, a dagger, and 5 provisions. We have our bio, which we read out, and our attacks for reference, which we already know about. We have a map, do we? Okay, so can we... oh, excellent. That's really nice, actually. It means you can look around the virtual board. I tell you what, this would be quite good in VR if I had paid for such a thing. Anyway, so where do we find ourselves? To your left, on the west face of the passage, there is a rough-cut wooden door. You listen at the door and can hear a rasping sound, which may be some sort of creature snoring. Well, it wouldn't be fun to just not investigate, would it? So let's have a... let's open and go inside. The door opens to reveal a small, smelly room. In the centre of the room is a rickety wooden table on which stands a lit candle. Underneath the table is a small wooden box. Judging by the remains of the dwarven architecture, this room has not changed much from its original purpose. Sleeping quarters for the night watch. Providing that your educated guess is correct, you see a green-skinned orc asleep on the straw mattress. I wonder what's in that wooden box. Okay, so do we try to steal the wooden box without waking the orc, or do we gently close the door and return to the corridor? I mean, obviously, we're going to try to steal the wooden box, aren't we? It's way too tempting. Treading softly, you easily extract the wooden box from under the table. Your luck holds out as you easily back out the room without waking the orc. Excellent. You leave the room and open the box in the passage. A hidden compartment has been knocked loose, revealing a cache of gold pieces. There is also a small mouse, which must have been the creature's pet. I'm guessing he means the rodent and not the computer peripheral. 4 gold pieces. You release the mouse, which scurries off down the passageway. I hope we don't have to fight that mouse later. So we can only progress up the passageway, which shouldn't we be able to go back if we wanted to? No, I guess not. You arrive at another door. You listen at it but hear nothing. So I reckon this one's going to be more... This one's going to have more inside than the last one. Let's have a look. Oh no, more sleeping quarters. The door opens to reveal a small room with a stone floor and dirty walls. There is a stale smell in the air. In the centre of the room is a makeshift wooden table on which is standing a lit candle. Under the table is a small box. In the far corner of the room is a straw mattress. So, we've already opened one box under a table. And this is the second one. Could it be a trap? There are carved runes in the box. Due to your excellent education, you can roughly translate these into snake surprise. As you pick it up, something rattles within. Oh, shit. Why did we open it? You open the lid and a small snake pops out the box, eager to bite you. Achievement unlocked. Oh, peanut brittle. Discover an old orcish trick. Even though you are surprised, you managed to dodge them. Okay. So now we've got to fight the snakes. They're a lot bigger than they looked in the box. Also, if we were that clever, we would have read the box and gone, yeah, I'm not going to open that. So he's going to attack me. I wonder if he has a ranged spit attack, and I should actually move back one. No. He's going to move away. Or is he? Because he's got his pal there moving in, so let's see how this works out. Ah, we can shove, okay. Let's attack him. Interesting that he attacked the table there. I'm guessing we can move through furniture? Not move through it in a sort of ethereal way, but move it out the way. Okay. Ah, so they can attack diagonal too, I see. So he's going to move in because he didn't do a wiggle, which I've now learned, even though it was clearly obvious. Oh no, maybe not. Maybe he did do a wiggle. I'm an idiot. Oh, he's a sneaky snake. It's because they don't turn when they move. That actually gave me quite a clackering. I'm hoping that we are no longer poisoned. We got 7 stamina. That's rubbish, isn't it? The box has fallen to the ground during your fight with the snakes, and now has fallen the key which you take. Okay, well, at least that's something. Zagor's key. The stale, dirty room does not seem to have any more secrets to hide. You decide to continue to head deeper into the Orcs' barracks. The tunnel splits. The tunnel turns eastward and then splits. Which way do we want to go? You know what? I think I'm going to carry on north. Further up the passage, on the west wall, you see another wooden door. You listen at the door and hear the worst singing you have ever heard in your life. Well, it could be Robbie Williams, so let's have a look. The door opens to reveal a small room. The room is dirty and unkempt. A straw mattress lies in the corner, and in the far corner a flight of steps leads out of the chamber. In the centre of the room is a wooden table upon which a candle burns, lighting the room with its flickering flame. A small box rests... Oh! Went a bit too quick. A small box rests under the table. Seated around the table are 2 small orcs with watery skin dressed in leather armour. Such cool designs, aren't they? They are drinking some sort of grog, and by the way they stagger to their feet. Excuse me. And by the way they stagger to their feet on your arrival, you assume they are very drunk. I wonder if they know the whereabouts of the eye. We can pull out our weapon and leap forwards towards them, question the orcs, or slam the door quickly and run for the passage. Well, we're not a coward, but we're also quite intuitive, so let's question the orcs. You there, you command, pointing your sword to the orcs. I seek the Eye of the Cyclops. Where can I find it? One of the orcs speaks your language. To know about no Eye of the Cyclops, we're just having a quick drink. The other orc waves his mace threateningly. At least it would be threatening if you could control it enough to work up a decent swing, which he can't. Your lips curling in disgust, you leave the orcs to their drinking. Oh, okay, fair enough. The passage splits again. So, by the look of things, whatever this room is, we could have continued through the passage, and then there's a door there which we can go around to. That might require the key we picked up, because it looks a little bit different to normal doors. So let's keep on heading north. And we're going to go west, because that was my original intention. Oh, that's a bit of a bug. Let's see if we can... There we go. You listen at the door and hear angry shouting coming from within. Okay. Well, it could be domestic violence, in which case we should definitely intervene. Or it could be a Tarantino movie they're watching. You open the door to a large room. A large chair behind a solid-looking table suggests that someone, or something, of rank uses this room. Ah, poor little guy, getting a whipping. Although he ain't got much muscle on him, I don't think he'll be able to inflict too much pain, but he's going to get it. In the corner of the room stands a strange-looking orc with a warty face, standing over a smaller orc. With the whip in his hand, he has been beating his servant, who is whimpering beneath him. Git. What has happened to that poor creature's hand? It looks deformed. We can attack them both. We want to attack them both. Spring at the orc and hope his servant will aid you. Quickly leave and run back to the junction. Well, I feel sorry for our whipped friend there. Unless we have walked in on some sort of sexual act and he's actually enjoying it. So I'm going to spring at the orc and hope his servant will aid me. Maybe we'll get something for free. As you spring at the orc, his servant rises to his feet, picks up a hefty wooden stick and joins in the melee. But to your disappointment, he attacks you. Ungrateful wretch. How dare he? No, we're not going to escape. We're going to continue the fight. We tried to help and it failed, so... let's get into a scrap. This could be our demise because we've only got 11 stamina left, but we are not deterred so easy. Now can he... oh, he's got a whip, so I reckon he's going to be long range. So I'm going to move straight out the way. Yes, he does. That's worrying. So if I attack the table... ah, that's that gone. He's going to attack. He's going to move. So I'm going to move out the way. He's going to move. What to do here? Where is he going to attack though? Well, he definitely won't be able to get me if I move to there. So he's going to move this way. Now this is the problem I had before, which I didn't know who gets to go first, because if I do my quick jab in anticipation, am I going to fire it out before he actually does his move? Oh, he moved the wrong way anyway. I'm going to move there. Ah, and now I can use my... for the first time, my piercing strike to get both of them. Oh, damn. Should really have read that situation better without getting too excited. Right, let's attack this goon. Let's go for another one. He didn't wiggle. Oh, didn't mean to click attack then. Can we do the piercing strike again? Wasn't paying attention. So it looks like he's going to attack, but he's going to move, which makes even less sense to me because there's no way I can get to where he's going to attack. He's going to move away, but I don't want to move here in case he's got a projectile, so I'm just going to do a normal attack, even though I know it's going to miss. So I'm wondering if I can shove enemy... I shoved that one enemy before who was trying to walk into me. But, okay. They're both going to attack. Okay. I'm getting it now. It reminds me a bit of is it Enter the Breach? I think it Into the Breach. Into the Breach or Enter the Breach? I should know, it's one of my favourite games, but a concept that's so incredibly simple but requires very, you know, a lot of thought to be successful. Oh, I knew he was going to do that. Yeah, we'll get him. Excellent. How much life did we lose? 4. Not too bad. The green blood of the dead orcs smells foul as it seeps from their bodies. There is a chest nearby. You step around the corpses and decide to investigate. It is of sturdy construction, made of strong oak and iron, and it is firmly locked. Try to smash the lock with your weapon. Leave and go through the north door. Could we break our weapon? The lock is obviously inadequate. It flies off and lands on the floor several meters away. You lift up the heavy lid and your eyes widen as you see a gold sheen coming from within. A fair number of gold pieces are inside. In one corner lies a small black bottle with a tight glass stopper containing liquid of some kind. But as you are admiring this treasure, you hear a soft click and wince in pain as a small dart shoots forward into your stomach. Oh, blimey. You sink to the floor. You pull the dart out and decide to bandage the wound. This gives some relief, but you are still weak. You decide to take it easy and examine the contents of the chest. There is a stash of gold pieces, and the label on the bottle shows it to be a potion of invincibility, good for 1 dose. Okay, we'll take the bottle. Oh, invisibility, sorry, not invincibility. You take the potion of invisibility. What a find! This will definitely come in handy during your adventure. Thank God. So what are the point in provisions then if we just rest at a bench and recover our stamina as we go? It's funny that I stammered when I said stamina then. Perhaps it is that we recover more health. Let's just do a normal rest and see how much we recover. You sit down on the bench and rest for a moment. Your aching muscles ease and your tiredness wanes. It is good to take a break on your adventure. 5. So, okay, so maybe 5 is just standard. And if we eat provisions, then it's like a full heal. Which is probably what we should have done, but not knowing that was the outcome, then... more for me. Walk straight on eastward. I don't want to step on that. Stepped right on it. So, you arrive at another junction in a passage. We can go north. We can already see a guard. And what looks like a jail cell. Or we can continue eastward. Or is it a sewers? Because it looks like there's a dip there and some water. You know what? I'm going to continue east. I don't like the look of that. The passage ends at a solemn wooden door with metal hinges. Listening at the door, you hear strange mutterings and clatterings of what could be pots and pans. Whatever is in there, there are several of them. Several people or several pots and pans? No, let's press on. Oh, Christ. You open the door into a large room. From your education, you are positive that this used to be the dwarves' dining room. The orcs have destroyed most of the original stonework and repurposed it for their own needs. Sitting round a large table are Sitting round a large table are 5 orcs busily drinking and dribbling their bowls of rat gizzard soup. All are involved in a rowdy argument as to who will get to chew the rat bones left in the large soup cauldron, so they do not see you enter. I fought orcs before, 3 at a time easily, but 5? You know what? I'm going to back away from this fight because we've only got 9 stamina. Perhaps we can come back later. I guess it's the it's the dungeon. The passageway leads into a squared dungeon chamber. There are 2 doors in the eastern wall and 2 on the western wall. On the opposite side of the room, another passageway leads away north. The first door to the right is well used, and putting your ear to the keyhole, you listen and hear a man screaming for help from the other side. Before deciding what to do next, you listen at the other doors as well. From behind the second door to the right, you hear a thumping sound on the wood. Hello? Hello? Not funny! Open the door! The first door on the left to the left is made of solid metal. Listening at the door, you hear the sound of tortured screams coming from within. Putting your ear to the second door to the left, you hear nothing. The Eye of Cyclops is unlikely to be in a dungeon cell, but you never know. It's true, you never do know. So, oh, okay. Do we only get the option to go through one? So what are our choices? We can either... We've got the tortured man. We've got the bewildered person. We've got the screams or the nothing door. You know, I'm half tempted to go through the quiet door. Because it seems like the less obvious one to do. But actually, I'm going to talk to the second door on the right person who is just saying hello. I feel like it's too late for the tortured people now. Ah, crap. As you approach the door, the banging gets louder and the bolt starts to shake. Come on, Gnurk. Let out. Waking up. Sliding back the rusty bolt and opening the door, you come face to face with a panicked-looking goblin with a horrific creature closing in behind it. Slime beasts. Slime beast, run, squeaks the panic goblin, and lashes out at you. The toad-like slime beast joins in the fray, opening its wide mouth. It is full of long, spiked teeth. Oh dear. So he's going to do an attack. Oh, okay, so I didn't even realise that we could see their stats in the corner. So, he's got pretty good skill, only small stamina. Still going to move out the way. Let's try and attack there. Excellent. He's going to attack. He looks like he's going to move. Oh, we anticipated that well. I reckon both of these guys are going to... Well, he didn't... No, he didn't wiggle, but... Are we going to get attacked twice? No, we're not. Okay, so they're both going to go for an attack, but I'm not sure to which direction. Oh, that was good. I'm going to attack this guy here. Then move in. Ah, he shoved me. Yes. He's going to attack. Let's just go straight for it. Is he going to move to there? No, he's going to move away again. It's kind of obvious when there's two spaces away and he's only got one space to attack and he wiggles that he's going to have to go diagonal because there's no way he can anticipate me moving in front of him because it just can't happen. That's... Oh, damn it. So he didn't wiggle, so is he going to try to move to there? Yes, he is. Is he going to try and move there? No, he's not. Yes, excellent. Did we... I think we passed that unscathed, didn't we? Oh no, we lost 4 stamina. Damn. Oh well. At least we gained 5 at the stump. We've defeated the monsters. Initially, it looks as though there is nothing of value in the slime beast's cell. However, upon second glance, you notice a blue candle sitting in the muck. Do you want a blue candle? Let's take it. Although it's an odd place for a candle, you decide to take it with you. It may come in handy in one of the darker areas of the mountain. You put it in your backpack. Ah, cool. So, let's go for the first door on the left, which was the metal door containing the screaming man. Oh, that's odd, because to me I would say that's the right, but there you go. You unbolt the door and swing it open. I might have clicked the right door, I wasn't really paying attention. A nauseating stench hits your nostrils. Inside the room, the floor is covered with bones, rotting vegetation, and slime. A wild-haired old man, clothed in rags, rushes at you screaming. That's pretty good. I do remember that picture, actually. But it's so nice to see it colorized, isn't it? Because... it really outlines the detail of it, but that's fantastic. Very much the kind of art style of the early Shining games, like Shining in the Darkness, really reminds me of that. If you think back to how the shopkeeper would look when you go to buy something, you pull a very similar face. It's almost Pratchett-esque, but slightly darker and, for my money, better. His beard is long and grey, and he's wearing an old wooden... He's waving an old wooden chair leg. He's wearing an old wooden chair leg. Is he simply insane as he appears, or has this been some kind of trap? Try to shout at him to calm him down. Draw your weapon to attack him. Well, I'm going to shout at him because he looks like he needs shouting at. You shout, "You are freed, old man," at the top of your voice. Instantly, his ranting cease. He stops dead in his tracks and sinks to the floor, weeping loudly. Alexandra of Black Sand, finally, a familiar face. You have my eternal gratitude. Oh, so he knows who we are. As he gradually composes himself, he thanks you many times. Many years ago, he was an adventurer like you in the search of the Warlock's treasure. He was captured by the orcs and thrown into his solitary cell as a sort of pet for the creatures. This must be the Arendagar that I've heard about. There have been many tales told of this great warrior. Sadly, his time in confinement has not been kind to him. You ask the man about the Eye of the Cyclops. His memory is poor after so long in isolation, but he says he's heard of no such thing. But he says he has heard of such a thing, Rumours of an immense gem, powering an evil construction which draws life from demonic power. Sounds a bit like Pillars of Eternity. I always thought it was just a superstitious rumour, though. Oh, +1 luck. Leave the filthy cell. Okay. So, let's go to second door on the left, which we heard no noise from. Yeah, I definitely clicked on the right door, not the left. The door is unlocked. Opening it, you find yourself at the threshold of the Orc's weapon store. A torch hangs from one wall. The torch hangs from one wall, lighting up a small armory room stocked with swords, shields, helmets, daggers, breastplates, and the like. I wouldn't say that's a small torch. I imagine it's incredibly hard to draw the concept of light when you only have black and white. Done very well, of course. Let's take all of the loot if we can. A circular iron shield with a golden crescent lies at the far end of the room. However, as you do not use a shield, it is worthless to you. Oh. Search the room. You poke around the room. The weapons are blunted and worthless, and the helmets are battered and rusty. You decide to inspect the breastplate on the shelves to see if there's anything worthwhile there. You examine the breastplate and the shelves thoroughly, but there appears to be nothing of value. That's a shame. Well, we've only got one room left before we have to leave the chamber, and that is the first door of Tortured Screams. The door is not locked and opens. The room in front of you seems to be a small torture chamber with various torture devices around the walls. In the centre of the room, two small hunchback goblins are having their fiendish way with a dwarf. Dirty. Who is tied to a hook in the ceiling by his wrists. The two hunchbacks are poking and cutting him viciously with their swords. Evil bastards. The dwarfs, I thought it said dwarflets. The dwarf lets out a final scream and falls silent, eyes closed. The captors make disappointed noises and look around angrily at you as if it was your fault that the dwarf had collapsed. I can't let these goblins get away with such barbaric practices. Draw your weapon and fight the creatures. The two evil creatures give a loud shriek as they rush forward to attack you. Readying your weapon, you dive into battle. I like that the poor dwarf is still asleep. Well, not asleep, he's dead on the floor. Now, I wasn't paying attention then to see if anyone wiggled, so I'm going to move out of the way just in case. That was a good call. So, he's faced that way, but I think he's going to move, but I don't think he can move over the dwarf unless he shunts him, so let's try our luck. Yes! Did he wiggle? I couldn't tell. I'm going to move anyway. Excuse me. I'm going to move back. Oh, damn. So he's going to attack, so he's out safely out of the way. Let us move. No, I'm going to move back to here. Let's engage with him. Yes, excellent. I don't want to get hit again because we've only got 3 stamina now, so I'm really hoping we find a bench soon. Ooh. I'm going to try moving back. Damn! That was not a good idea. Okay. Is he going to try and stitch me up again? Let's just attack him. Okay, we did well there. Now, he didn't wiggle that time, so he's going to try and move. He can only move back and out of the way, but just in case he moves back, I'm going to do a piercing strike. No. He didn't wiggle, so he might move again. He's a sneaky one, this one. I'm going to move to here. Oh, fantastic. We are triumphant. So we are nearly dead, mind you. We lost 4 stamina, but gained 4 souls. You cut down the dwarf. He was already down when I saw him last. With the last of his strength, he opens his eyes, looks at you, then looks downwards. His eyes close again, and this time he breathes his last. You gently rest the dead dwarf on the floor. Oh, that's a shame. Let's search him. You feel that you haven't much time to search the dwarf before your presence will be noticed, or the goblins will be missing. Okay. So basically, if we carry on searching, we're going to have to get into another fight, which I really don't want to do. So let's just quickly search his beard. As you search for the dwarf's beard, you give a cry of surprise. The dwarf had hidden a small purse in his beard. You take the gold. Sadly, the dwarf won't be needing it now. You decide to leave the torture chamber before you get discovered. Okay. Now I think we can actually use provisions straight from here. So let's use one. Ah, it gives us back 4. Okay, so presumably, I think it said at the beginning that if we use them at the bench, we get more. So I think we'd get the base 5 of our rest, and then maybe some sort of multiplier in the provisions. Maybe it would bolt it up by like 2 or something. So potentially we could have healed a lot more, but I think that's fine for now. I think we could get hit twice more out of that. And we're definitely going to probably get hit soon because we are coming to a pikeman. Exiting the dungeon, you hear the sound of water ahead, and you make out a grilled portcullis at the end of the passageway. Before you can reach the portcullis, you will have to cross a bridge that passes over the gully of gurgling brackish. You suspect it may actually be a sewer. Hooray! Judging by the smell rising from it. Though every single room we've gone into at this moment has been smelly, so not a surprise there. Make your way towards the bridge. As you make your way towards the bridge, you pass some goblins, which appear uglier than all the creatures you've encountered so far. Having a sip of water, sorry. One of the goblins spots you, and its eyes turn wide. Black sand! Black sand! It exclaims, and it begins to run towards you. Draw your weapon and fight. Keep your weapon sheathed. Let's see what happens if we keep it sheathed. I don't know if we can have a damage penalty by not anticipating a battle. The tiny creature runs up towards you and begins to hug your leg. It is pleased to see you. Black sand, it wails with glee over and over. It seems that the goblin has heard of you and has become a fan. And become a fan. I'm getting tired of this. Let go, idiot. The goblin only grips tighter. Black sand. You whack it on the head with your sword hilt, and the creature loosens its grip, dazed. With a final violent shake, you send the goblin off the bridge and into the sewer below. That's not very nice. He was only trying to be our friend. He could have helped us. Oops. I'm sure that goblin will be fine. Most of them can swim. Leave the orcs barracks. You arrive at the end of the passage. An iron portcullis blocks your way, and no amount of charging is going to budge it. But we do have a key, and there are levers on the wall. On the wall to the right are 2 levers, and it seems likely that these levers will have something to do with raising the portcullis. Which one do we want to pull? I'm going to go with the left lever because it's closest to the portcullis. My logic being that that one's going to do something else, and that one's going to operate the thing it's closest to. So let's give that a go. To your horror, shit, you realise that this is a dummy. That this dummy lever was a trap. Although it looked like a handle, it was in fact a wax-coated sword blade and has now cut your hand badly. Damn, did you use your left hand or was it your right hand? Well, we have the dagger in the left and the sword in the right, so we want to still be able to brandish the sword, so let's go with the left. Although you were injured, you were also fortunate. This was not your sword hand, meaning that the injury is not quite so important. Okay, so it was good that we paid attention to that model at the start. -1 skill. Oh, damn it. Gingerly, you pull the right lever. Do we get that skill back? You hear a deep rumbling noise and the ground begins to shudder. Slowly and noisily, the portcullis rises to the ceiling. With hesitation, you walk towards the junction, listening carefully. Yeah, brilliant. Medieval hipster. Suddenly, a terrified young man runs into you. His white, rune-embroidered robes are torn and smudged with dirt. He looks at you with panic in his wide eyes. I yield. Education is not worth this much danger, no matter how great the reward. You calm the young student down, and he begins to relax. My name is Ian the White, he says. I am a humble acolyte seeking entry to the School of Sorcery. You learn that he gained entry, but was deemed unworthy by the elemental masters. I wonder if this fellow knows where the eye is located. Ask about Zagor, ask about the school, ask about the Eye of the Cyclops. I'm going to ask about the school first, because that seems to be what he was blabbing on about. Might be fresh in his brain. You ask the young acolyte about the School of Sorcery. It's highly prestigious, he sniffs, and highly dangerous. There are all sorts of magic traps to keep novices out, and even then you must meet the approval of the elemental masters. Deciding to know more, you press for information on the magic traps. Well, there's the hungry doors just ahead, but I knew the trick to get through those, simply saying the words dinner time and they'll stop moving. Good information to know. Should I really press him about the eye too before he runs away? Yes, ask him about the eye. You ask the young acolyte if they know the whereabouts of the ruby that you seek. He becomes frightened once more when you mention the name. Yes, I know the eye that you seek. It belongs to the Cyclops himself, who resides in what is left of the dwarven halls over to the east. Follow the passage, and whatever you do, always make sure you stay heading east. There you will find it. The young man points down the passageway before pushing past you and running off. You tried to catch up with him, asking for more information, but he darts under a portcullis you entered earlier. There's no point chasing him back through there. I should continue eastward to try and find this Cyclops. It's a good job we asked. Oh, and we have a bench. Cautiously, you creep along the passageway. After a short time, you reach a fork in the path, with the path continuing northwards. Eastwards, you see a broad stone bridge. Rest ye here, weary traveller. So this time, we are going to rest and consume some provisions. So we know we get a base of 5 by resting, so let's see how many we get from the provisions, because last time it was 4. Let's see if we get any more. You sit down on the bench and take out a portion of provisions from your pack. Your moment of rest combined with your healthy provisions makes you feel much better. Ooh, 10. So we basically get 1 extra. While this rest is appreciated, I should press on quickly. That eye is close, I can feel it. Continue onwards. Well, since we've just rested at a bench, and I think we've come to about the same amount of time, possibly longer than the first video, I think that's a good place to leave it for Chapter 2. I feel like we're getting closer to the Cyclops. We came through a couple of tough scrapes there, but we managed to fight our way through. So, until the next one.